Okay. Well, thank you for joining us for our meditation series webinar for our Wellness Month series. I would like to introduce Lauren Dyer, who is a board member for the Spina Bifida Association for Greater New England and does a lot of work with meditation and mindfulness. And so she's going to lead us through an exercise for today. So Lauren, let me turn it over to you.
All right. So I thought, so part of wellness, like mental health, is a huge part of also being healthy and part of wellness. And as someone who struggles pretty badly at times with anxiety, anxiety attacks, depression, panic attacks, all of that, stress, and especially during this time, I think a lot of people are experiencing that stuff more than ever right now. Anyway, I thought it'd be good to like just kind of teach a couple different breathing exercises and then talk a little bit about mindfulness, because both of those. So mindfulness is really just being more mindful and focused on the activities that we're doing and focusing on like one task at a time. And then where meditation and just breathing exercises is just focusing on our breath essentially and not trying not to have a million thoughts going through our head. Um, it can be difficult to get into meditation in the beginning, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And I promise that because I've heard from many, many people who say they could never shut off their brain, which isn't the goal of it, but and they can never get into meditation, but everyone can do it, even if it's just a few minutes a day. And so it's really up to is whatever you're most comfortable with and whatever you resonate with most as far as how you meditate. I kind of recommend, like, there's different apps, like Insight Timer is free. They have a bunch of guided apps or guided meditations on there that you can sort by like the number, like how long you want to do it. So you can do like a 3 to 5 minute meditation on there. And I like the guided meditations because if you're, at least for me, if I'm listening to something, I can't really think of something at the same time, or it just makes it harder, like, to focus on all that. You can also just listen to music, like any positive music, and just kind of focus on the words. I like to just close my eyes and just focus on breathing. And if a thought like enters your mind, you just kind of like let it go and don't focus intently on that thought. Um, just kind of imagine it as like just going through your head and out, and then just breathe. um, and then the breathing, while you meditate, it's, it all depends if you want to do like the breathing exercises or like what you're most comfortable with. But I know, like, if you're having a very stressful situation or like anxiety or a panic attack or something, and the best thing is to just breathe and focus on your breath. And your breath is something that you have with you no matter where you are. Like, if you're having a difficult time, you might not have your phone with you to listen to a guided meditation, but you can do a breathing exercise. So the first one I wanted to mention was, I think it's called like the 4-4-4 method. And so what it is you inhale to the count of 4, you hold it for the count of 4, and then you exhale to the count of 4. So we can try that right now. If you want to take a deep breath in, and I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you could do it, I guess, until you start feeling a little bit better. I mean, that could be your whole meditation, or you could just do it 4 times and see how you're feeling. But by slowing down our breath and focusing just on our breath, it can just slow down our nervous system. It can help us relax, help us be calmer, and really help with the de-stressing in that moment, especially those like intense moments we might have at times. Another one is just counting your breaths. So you can count, there's a couple different ways you can do that. You can count each exhale or each inhale and exhale. So when you inhale, it would be a 1. When you exhale, a 2. And just keep doing that with slow breaths. And then when you get to 10, you can either stop or start over and count to 10 again. You could also just count the entire breath cycle as a 1. So you inhale, exhale, and then that would be 1. And then continue on till 10, and then repeat with another set if you want to. And I think those are kind of the easiest ones. And like I said, if you can listen to positive music, which I kind of like, and I say positive because, well, for I guess obvious reasons, you don't want to listen to anything negative if you're trying to like relax and stuff. But even upbeat music, I've taught meditations before with like pop music playing. And I just told people like focus on like the words and kind of just they can envision it's about themselves or whatever the song's about, like kind of just to help them get into a good mood. And that can help a lot too. And I'll just like sit, close my eyes, and like put on a song or something. And meditation never has to be for a long period of time. Like you could 5 minutes a day, every single day will do eventually have like amazing benefits with like improved sleep, less anxiety. It can improve like heart health and just pretty much it can help with everything pretty much. Pain management. I know for me, it helped me fall asleep quicker. That was like the first thing I noticed after like 2 months of meditating. I started falling asleep like pretty instantly, where I'd be someone who would be up like all night with my mind running. And that was, yeah, the first thing I noticed. And then I also was more patient with the kids and had more like tolerance and wasn't like kind of freaking out as much or as easily. And then when it comes to mindfulness, I talked last week to a couple of you at our Valentine's meeting about mindful eating. And so mindful eating just, again, it's just slows things down, kind of like we slow down our breath. And you just kind of focus on the food, smell it, take slow bites, and just eat it a lot slower and just focus on that. Don't have like, try not to have like the TV on or music or other noise. And sometimes it's not possible to control all that. But if you just try to like just focus on what you're doing and slow it down, it's going to be way more enjoyable. If when we're talking about mindful eating, you're less likely to overeat and then feel like gross afterwards. And you're going to, yeah, I might have already said it. It'll be more enjoyable, but it'll probably taste better. And you might notice more flavors and stuff than you would if you just like were scrolling on your phone and eating at the same time, which I am guilty of doing all the time. But it does make a difference when you do that. And pretty much anything can be turned into a mindful activity. So cleaning, if you just kind of focus on like just what you're doing, like I totally cleaned and dusted my desk today, and the kids, my in-laws were here and they were playing with the kids outside, and I got like quiet time and I just like enjoyed like the silence and just cleaning and organizing. And it was very like I don't know, just kind of like meditative for me. I didn't intentionally turn it into a mindful activity, but where there's the kids and they're young, when they're around like 24/7, just that quiet and being able to do something without them like on me and making a mess or something, made a big deal. And it definitely like it was what I needed. And then I had the satisfaction of my desk being cleaned and dusted and everything afterwards. But then like also hobbies and things like painting. I just started watercolor painting, and that can be like a very mindful activity if you just take your time with it and learn like how the brush moves and the different ways you can work with the paint with like water. And I found that to be like very like therapeutic and relaxing lately too. And that's why they sell all those like coloring books and stuff for mindfulness and mindful coloring and things like that. So but yeah, I think that's kind of all I had. I actually had a list and I totally forgot where I put it. But does anyone have any questions?
What did you say that app was?
Insight Timer. It's
Okay.
INSIGHT.